Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another week, another edition of ESL Open Cup Asia, number 203. That's a lot of ESLations. That's a lot, Pop. Yeah. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to our weekly dose of Korean StarCraft. I say that, but we have some very different players here this time to start things off in our first match in our best of 3 and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Hecate, we have the Chinese Terran player, the reigning world champion representing CranKy Z Gaming. It is Oliveira. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Chinese Protoss representing the Starving Camels SSLD. It is Cyan. And there's a big reason why I'm jumping on this series. Exclamation mark B in the chat if you guys want to have a look at the back of yourselves. We got plenty of games going on. We got plenty of coverage as well. Big shout out to Chicken Man, El Pollo Loco, as of course he is casting over on his channel. I believe Wardy is also casting on his channel as well. We got some other language streams going on into the Inu. Going to be covering in Korean, and likewise I believe we have Saber casting in Mandarin / Cantonese. Not too sure which native language, but alas, we have plenty of coverage going on, and this is a big one. The reason why I dove onto this beautiful TVP is because this is a rematch. A rematch from, I believe, the KSL over the weekend, where we had some insane upsets. We had Cyan beating Oliveira. I remember I was waiting for Oliveira's next series. I was waiting for, I believe it was Oliveira versus Dark. Oliveira versus Dark was slated to face off KSL 36. Check it out on the Wikipedia, or check it out on our VODs even. And Cyan beat Oliveira. He beat Oliveira in the quarterfinals, and Cyan went up against Dark in the semis. And it just so happened to be a similar story here today, where we have Oliveira versus Cyan in the round of 16, and they go up against the winner of Rex versus Dark. Most likely to be Dark, so I'm getting some serious deja vu. The deja vu is real, papi, it's real. Ay. So yeah, just I'm ready to see if history repeats itself or if we get a different kind of outcome instead. The other important thing, we did cast Dark versus Cyan. We missed out on Cyan versus Oliveira during KSL. We were covering a different series, so oh my. So that's why I'm really excited to see what we bring to the table here, as we do have Oliveira going for an interesting opener himself. We do have a gate expand here into Cybercore, standard opener from Cyan. Of course, Oliveira is going for a what looks to be more of a 2-on-1 setup. We have a hidden second Rax here behind the main base, and we are delaying our starport. So very aggressive follow-up here. It looks like it was delayed CC as well, so it was a oh no, sorry. It was a gas. Sorry, it was a Rax expand going into a fast factory, going into that second Rax. I wonder if we go into a third Rax as well and double down. This has been very popular, very common in TVP recently. It just these very aggressive builds where you delay the starport for oh so long to build up a bio army on the ground, build up your army in general. So I'm ready for it. I'm ready for what comes next. Meanwhile, we do have Hallucination moving out, going to be threatening an Oracle towards the main base, trying to fake out his opponent. Oliveira hasn't seen anything, by the way, no scouting information whatsoever, as the Oracle does end up threatening that main. We do see Oliveira actually just getting in position to try and catch this Oracle. No major damage, again, it's just a hallucination, and we should be able to deflect it for the time being. That's a full scout, though. I believe, looking at the vision of Cyan, yep, he did see everything in the main. He's aware of the delayed starport. He's aware that drop play isn't really going to be a possibility here, and that instead we're just building up that ground army, as we mentioned before. Tanks, stim, bio army, it's all building up. Meanwhile, behind this, Cyan is going for an interesting opener. Twilight Council, Blink, yes, but he's throwing down additional gateways. We have 2 gateways done, we have a 3rd gateway on the way, so it's going to be 3 gate Blink. Now, this isn't all in, you still expand behind this, you take a 3rd base, but with that extra gateway, you have that many more warp bins available, and you can be active on the map, and as a result, we can see Cyan, he is maneuvering out, just trying to catch any stray units. Meanwhile, it is a 2-on-1. Something that is very uncommon here in TVP. We see it every now and then, like Björn has done this, Oliveira as well. We have delayed 3rd Rax after that starport, so essentially we should be hitting a timing here with a double drop, but there's no add-on swap for the reactor, as we usually have a reactor on the factory, then we go for the add-on swap instead. So I'm really curious what is going to be done with the starport, and whether we go into Medivacs or if we go into something different, like Ravens, for example, or even a Banshee. There's the add-on swap. We switched the factory with the star. No, sorry. I assumed that we were going to be pushing the factory with the starport, but I believe it's for the Rax instead. Okay. Yeah, we're just building up that reactor, getting to those medevacs. Meanwhile, Stalkers are going to be pushing on forward. Again, 3 gate Stalker. We have plenty of Stalkers to work with, but the tank is in position, and we will be able to deflect this. There's no way in. So far, Oliveira looking solid on these 2 bases. Again, plenty of army to work with because of the delayed starport. We already have 2 tanks. Behind this, Cyan is taking his 3rd, getting into the rest of his gateways. Robotics Bay was throwing down. Colossus production already commencing here as the Stalkers, they dive in. They have 1 SCV. Ooh, but a couple of Stalkers are going down. Oh my god! A rough trade here for Cyan, losing 4 Stalkers for 4 Marines. Ay. That's expensive. May not look like a lot. It's like, oh, 4 Stalkers. They're not as cheap as Marines. That is quite a lot of gas invested here, and ideally, especially with a Bleak Stalker opener, you want to build up your Stalker count over time. Losing half your Stalkers is pretty impactful. Not just half. Yeah, sorry. 4 so far in total. So I have 3 remaining behind this, getting to the Colossus until eventually charge lots, getting third base up and running. Behind this, I don't see a 3rd CC. There is no 3rd CC here. We double down, going up to 5 Raxes here for Oliveira. This is going to be a hefty push. This is going to move out, and it's going to hit hard. Here we go. We're already on 2 tanks. We have Widow Mines on the way. We're throwing down a 3rd CC behind this, so it's not an all-in. But regardless, this is a pretty terrifying army. Observer does spot the move out, and Cyan is getting ready back at home. 2nd Colossi on the way. Alas, we don't really have a large enough Stalker count to really threaten this army, so we're going to be able to waddle across the map without too much issue. Cyan trying to get in position, and so far, oh, decent force fields. It was okay. We shave off a handful of Marines. Tanks are siege. Oof. Getting a big shot off on those Stalkers, but again, we did hold the line. We did slice up the army, and Oliveira is not slowing down. Trying to rotate around, trying to find another way up this ramp. Meanwhile, the Prism is going to be coming in, and will spot the army. Oh, the rally! Oh my god, Prism is barely saved. We dive on for the first tank is going to be going down. We have 1 tank left, and it's going to be targeted down as well. Oliveira getting completely cleaned up. We try to focus on some of these stalkers. We get 2 of them. Not a bad trade. 1 medevac will barely escape. At the same time, here comes Oliveira with his reinforcements moving towards that 3rd base. We have a shield battery. We have an overcharge. The mines. 1 mine does get baited out. We're just buying time here for the rest of the army. A couple of zealots do go down, but here come the Colossi. Cyan will hold. At the same time, here comes that War Prism. So he's going to be coming back home with his Colossi, and he's going to be going for a big counterattack with zealots. That's 4 zealots here in that War Prism. Oliveira still in 2 bases, just in the midst of landing his 3rd. Here we go. We are moving out. I apologize for some, like, there's like some stuttering going on. I think oh god. ABS is fine, but I think I'm just dropping frames in-game, which is less than ideal. Hopefully it clears up for the next game. As for now, we do see Cyan going to be moving out. Likewise, we see a drop into the main, but we are in position. The drop will go down. Likewise, we have Zealots going towards the 3rd, but not the best time drop here from Cyan. We'll be losing a lot of those Zealots. We're losing his War Prism as well. As Oliveira does defend. There we go. Oliveira going to be pushing towards that left-hand side. Maybe that'll help. Here we go. We do end up finding find a base. We force a cancel on the 4th. Cyan, unawares as to the movement here of the army, has an observer on the map, but did not spot it. He's a deep enjoyer. And we'll see if Oliveira can pull his opponent apart. Finally getting his 3rd base up and running. We have a push on the right. We have a push towards the left. Colossi are being distracted. One of them taking quite a bit of damage. Here we go. We are moving on the right. So far is spotted by Cyan, going right through the center, going for a Zealot Rumite, catching some Marauders. Not too bad, but the Prism's rallying in, and the Prism should be going down. Oh, once again, a rough rally here from Cyan, being a little bit wasteful. Speaking of drop play, where do I drop in towards the natural? It looks like we do pull back in time. Only 3 workers. 3 probes going down. Zealots get cleaned up. The army has been spotted. We're getting to Viking production, 2-2. Plenty of bio. Ghost Academy is done. Ghosts are on the way. Cyan, he definitely has some momentum going his way here, but are we pushing in too soon? Do we have Storm? We do not! We have some high tableau, but no Storms, just feedbacks. I think that may be a mistake. That may be an oversight. Yeah, I'm just double checking. Yeah, we do not have Storms available. Cyan behind this, getting into triple robot production. Oh my god, to try to catch up, to try to get into Disruptors. Cyan banking up quite a lot, actually. This will help. Yeah, Archons are being morphed in. Now we're working on our 4th at the same time as Oliveira. Oliveira, his economy looking quite strong, actually. Looking better than that of Cyan. And that's why that is reflected in the army supply. Oliveira, he's up in supply because he's up in economy. It's going to be on Cyan here to try to bounce back, to try to have a better engagement. Otherwise, things will take a turn. Yeah, for now. But now Oliveira is taking more defensive position here on the left and the right. We see Cyan rotating around, trying to threaten that 4th base. And yeah, with the game settling down from here, this is kind of anyone's game at this point. Disruptors are coming out as well from Cyan, so now the Vikings aren't going to be the end-all be-all. We should be getting to Liberators, and there we go. Liberator production has commenced. We have +1 ship weapons on the way as well for Oliveira. And we have no answer to those libs. Once Liberators hit the field, make the freedom. It's hard to overcome. Here we go. We do see Oliveira pushing through the center. Same time, Nova goes up. Oh, the splits. Splits not looking too bad. We do have a couple of force fields being thrown down, trying to zone back that army. Vikings going ham on the Colossus. They get 1, they get 2. Also, usually when the game is when the game is dropping frames like this, and in game my latency is fine actually. It may be because we're being joined by some of the other casters. That could be influential there as well. Here we go, Novas go up. Good dive here on the Disruptor. First Disruptor goes down, second as well, and Oliveira, he can just dive on forward. The Vikings are being landed. Oh, some rough frame drops there. But it looks like we have broken through. Again, the Novas, there's potential here, but we can focus on every single Disruptor. Oliveira, does he have enough? Here come the reinforcements. The target firing here on the Stalkers. We focus them down. Both players are hurting at the same time. Here comes the Zealot run by, but we have a Planetary back at home to defend. Planetary is going to be up and running. Yeah, from here, Cyan, he has a lot of recovering to do. Again, I apologize for for some of the technical issues here. We do have some recovering to do here as we're getting into mass Disruptor production. There's still no answer to these libs, and we have a Fusion Core on the way. Thankfully, there's no lib range yet, thankfully, for Oliveira. Still working on it. Space is being taken. We are going to be engaging once again. At least we were able to reset the ghost count earlier alongside the Marauders. So this is still pretty neck and neck, actually. Some Liberator has to be harassed going to be coming in forward. Getting a couple of probes before rotating towards that fourth. Here on the right hand side. Where are the libs, by the way? I'm a little bit shocked that we haven't actually made any more. The Disruptors. So Nova's going to be going off, but we are bleeding out Disruptors. Expensive losses here for Cyan. Not like this. And Cyan is going to try and break through on the right hand side. Meanwhile, on the left, we have another double jump coming in. Looks like we should be able to force a cancel on this Nexus. The base, we're gonna try to get up and running, but no, alas, that's gonna be, we finish it. It's gonna be a kill, not a cancel. Nexus does go down. Do we have any Liberators yet? Still no Liberators for Oliveira. Working towards 3-3, working towards lib range. It's finally finishing up, and we have 4 libs being made at a time. Liberators are on the way. We stand forward. Up! The Novas! We focused on every single Disruptor. The Novas, they were just not in time. A little bit too exposed. And once again, Oliveira doing an amazing job here, just shutting down those Disruptors before they can get any shots off. I'm afraid to look. How many have we lost so far? 12! 12 Disruptors have died this game. We have 2 left. Again, these Disruptors, they just have not paid for themselves. Here we go, Oliveira pushing on forward, maxed out, coming in with those libs. The freedom, it's arrived. And there's just no answer to this. We do have a decent amount of Stalkers, but in a head-to-head fight, the Stalkers, they cannot contest with this army. Novas go off. We get a connection. Do we get a connection on the bio so far? Cyan, standing strong. Oliveira maybe getting a little bit too ambitious with his army. We dive on top of these ghosts once again. These libs do so much damage. As we're going to slowly leapfrogging forward here with these Liberators. One after the other, forcing the overcharge, and Cyan's going for it. Oh my god! Nova's not quite going to be connecting. Overcharge is popped. Thankfully within range of the shield battery, but you can see it's just still not enough. There's not enough buffer, not enough Zealots. Again, the Disruptors, they just have not paid for themselves over time. The Colossi, they're doing what they can. Can we barely hold on? We only have a handful of Marauders left. We focus on another Disruptor. And Cyan, he cannot hold. Every single Colossus goes down. All it takes is a handful of Marauders. And we just chew through them. And even though Cyan technically holds onto his base, he still doesn't have saturation here towards the top left. Still doesn't have the economy that or still hasn't been trading as well as he needed to. He has 90 workers. I mean, he's got the probe counts. Don't get me wrong. As he's now going to be saturating. Once again, losing all of his disruptors, all of his colossi. I would almost want like a Sky Toss transition out of Cyan. If we had the time, if we had the breathing room, but we don't. So Oliveri, he's just gaining ground. Pushing on forward once again. There's one disruptor, not within range. Additional disruptors, they're coming. But we need them now. We need the disruptors now, and it's just, yeah, too little too late. Oh, decent Nova. Oh my god. If Oliveri takes more Novas to the face like what we just saw, then Cyan, he can turn this around. It's possible. It's possible. We still have that one lib being as annoying as possible. Finally gonna pull another Nova up. Get some Marauders. Oh my god. The target firing though a little bit too good. And GG gets called. GG is gonna get called. We've run out of steam. Run out of steam for a while there. And Olivero will take game number 1. GG. GG, and that's game 1 in the books. Again, it was pretty back and forth initially, but once Olivera was able to snipe a couple of those disruptors, like, he really just kept the ball rolling, and yeah, never really allowed Cyan to get too much momentum here in this game. Had a really hard time even establishing and getting a third base. A fourth even. Olivera does take the first game. Again, we apologize for some of the frame drops there. Kind of out of my control. Out of my control. It doesn't have to do anything with ping or internet or anything like that. But if there is another observer that's lagging, then it does affect all the observers. So that does happen from time to time. Smooth. We're getting in. We're getting into game number 2. Again, Oliveri just needs one more Namas to take the series. To advance on and to get his revenge. But I want to believe that Cyan can and will fight back. Gibbage. We are loading into that second game. And spawning in the top right hand corner of Alkione, we have the Chinese Terran player, the Red Terran representing CranKy Z Gaming. It is Olivera. And spawning in the bottom left hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the Chinese Protoss representing the Starving Camels SSLT. It is Cyan. Here we go. Oh. And so far, so good. We should be getting into economic openers once again, which is what we saw last game. We saw a gate expand out of Cyan. We saw a delayed second gas from Olivera in game number 1 as well. It led towards a big push, if you recall. It led towards a 2-on-1-esque timing with tanks. But Cyan actually handled it very well. He handled it very well in game 1. It's just afterwards. After that initial hold, we saw Cyan bleed out, a couple too many Stalkers, and again, had a really hard time establishing that 4th base. Oh, a Cyan. Where are we going? We are mining out the mineral patches here on the right-hand side, and we're going for the gold! I stand by this. Cyan going for the gold base here instead as his natural, so technically it is a gate expand. Gateway into that Nexus, but we're going right for the gold instead. This is a bold move, especially considering that it can be very difficult to defend both locations at once, especially with Olivera going for a double gas opener. Ay. So Cyan, he's hoping that Olivera is going for something more economic, but with a double gas, that is a faster factory, faster starport as well. Olivera is going to be more active and more aggressive here in the early game. On a map like Alkione, which is a lot more macro-oriented, it makes sense for Cyan to cut corners and take a risk here, but It is a risk at the end of the day, and he may be punished for it. Here we go, Oliveira is moving out. And is he going to check the gold to begin with? Looks like he will not. Is going straight for the natural and then the main. And Oliveira, upon seeing the lack of natural, that should be a tell. He saw the probe moving out, so he's going to chase that probe, and it will lead him to that gold. I mean, even if the probe wasn't here, Oliveira would check the gold immediately, and he has found it. So he is aware of the expansion. He is aware of the base being taken. And we'll see if, or what Cyan can do to try to protect this base as he does go for the recall. Adept has arrived. It's going to be saturating, but we can just dance here on the other side of the wall. Up. Probes are being threatened. Had no kills yet, is what I will say. No dead workers yet. As the Eps do zone back the Reaper. Meanwhile, we have Cyclones and Marines on the way behind this. Getting into our 1-1-1 delayed natural base. Adept is going to get caught out. It's going to be a kill on the Adept. We have one Adept left. We're going right for that natural. We do have a shield battery. We have an overcharge available as well. That will help. Overcharge soon to be available, as we are still lacking some energy, and yeah, we are able to take control of this. Behind this, we had a Stargate follow-up here from Cyan, going for the Oracle, and he does get some damage done here on the Cyclone. Oh, the lock-on! No, the Oracle goes down. Oh my god, the Oracle goes down. The Adept as well. We barely take down the Cyclone, but we have another one to take its place, and we once again deny so much mining here at the gold. Cyan took a big risk here expanding at the gold base, and so far it has not paid off. A couple of probes are falling. Another Oracle is on the way. Rocks are being knocked down. Yeah, and we bust into that natural. Oh, the Stalker, no! Overcharge is going to try to keep it alive, and it looks like it will. Just a little bit longer. We have the Oracle catching reinforcements. No, it gets caught out. Second Oracle goes down. This is just going from bad to worse. We've bled out so many units. We've bled out 2 Oracles, Adepts as well, probes, almost at Phoenixes. And now with a second Cyclone, we should be able to shut this down. Yeah, GG gets called. There's just too much. Cyan cannot get away with the goal base, and Oliveira will take game number 2 at the series 2-0. GG. GG, well played. I appreciate going for the gold here for Cyan. It is very unfortunate that Oliveira happened to be going for a double gas opener, which meant faster factory, faster Cyclone, and Oliveira, he just kept the pressure on, kept the pressure up, and just did not allow Cyan to get into his economy, to get into his game. GG. GG. And with that, we can take a moment here to have a look at the brackets, as we have a lot that has been going on, and we have quite a lot to catch up on. Here we go. Okay, so from the top here, as bam, there we go. From the top, we do have Gumiho waiting for the winner of Close Winter alongside Firefly and Creator. It should be Gumiho versus either Firefly or Creator there in the upper quarterfinals. Firefly did actually take down Creator last week in the ESL Open Cup Americas, so I'm very excited to see if Firefly is able to do that again 2 weeks in a row. Firefly, he popped off last week, and he made it all the way to the finals. He took down Gumiho, he took down Bjorn. Very similar path, actually. Gumiho, Creator, and Bjorn, they're all here in the upper half of the bracket, and Firefly took all of them down last week. Every single one of them. So we'll see if we can go on another miracle run again. I'm looking forward to it. Scrolling down a little bit further, speaking of, we have Bjorn versus DRG, Hearthstone versus Cure. We very rarely get Europeans. Very rarely get Europeans in these tournaments, so I'm very happy to see Hearthstone a part of this, just because it's usually, you know, players from Southeast Asia or players from Korea. When it comes to the Europeans, it's like maybe a Demaga or something along those lines, but yeah, we just don't really get too many of them, so really cool to see, really exciting. As we do scroll down a little bit further here, we have Dark versus Rex. Winner of that goes up against Oliveira, as we of course just casted Oliveira, advance on here into the quarterfinals. So we're waiting for that series. We're waiting for Dark versus Rex to finish up, and then we'll cast either Rex or Dark against Oliveira in that quarterfinals. And at the very bottom of the bracket, we have Hero versus Nightmare in a PvP. Winner goes up against Solar. Best of luck to Fork. But again, that's going to be quite an opponent down there. Solar versus either Hero or Nightmare. Looking forward to it. So a lot of really quality matches going on here. Are we missing anyone? When it comes to the Protosses, I didn't see Classic. Am I crazy? Yeah, Classic is not here, so we're missing Classic. We're also missing Shin. We have Solar, we have Dark, we have DRG. There's no Shin here, and those are the main two players that we're missing here when it comes to our regulars in these online events. Shin and Classic. Otherwise, we have all the normal faces that we expect to be seeing here from the Korean scene. All going to be facing off, all going to be duking it out. So yeah, we kind of have our everything lined up, and we just got an update as well. Oh my god, let's go. We have confirmation. Dark just 2-0'd Rex, which means up next we have Dark versus Oliveira. Let's go. Let us go. Just going to be updating that title. We're still in the quarterfinals, so no predictions yet. We'll get predictions going for the semis, but the ZBT, it's juicy, Bobby. This is what I wanted from KSL last week, but we were denied it because Cyan popped off. Again, my condolences to Cyan. Wasn't able to replicate his success this time, unfortunately. But I wish him the best for the next time. As yeah, up next, we have confirmation. It is Dark versus Oliveira. Oh, beautiful. Players are just conducting their vetoes and getting things underway. And we are going to be going on a short break. We're going to be going on a short break. When we return, we will have Dark versus Oliveira. Again, the players just need some time here to set things up and to get their predictions going. So, going to be heading off for a moment. But before we do, I want to also give a shout out to Doom of the Malantay and Aistan. Thank you so much. At the very start of the broadcast, I didn't get to mention it, but Aistan did resubscribe for 11 months, and Doom did subscribe with Twitch Prime. Thank you. Do appreciate it. Do appreciate it. So yeah, going to be going on a short break. When we return, we'll have a ZVT. See you soon. And welcome back everyone to what we've all been waiting for. The team kill is upon us. We're getting into a beautiful Zerg versus Terran matchup. Dark versus Oliveira. CranKy versus CranKy Gaming. Oh my god, let's go. And how could you not want a ZVT, especially between these two amazing players? And here we go. Spawning in the top right hand corner of Equilibrium, we have the South Korean Zerg player representing CranKy Gaming. It is Dark. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Chinese Terran player, the reigning world champion, also representing CranKy Gaming. It is Oliveira. Here we go. Again, the ZVT is upon us, and I'm a little bit surprised. I'm a little bit shocked, a little bit surprised that this made it through the vetoes here. We're going to be loading into Equilibrium, and this is considered to be more of a Zerg favored map. The reasoning for this is because the center of the map is pretty wide open, especially once these rocks get knocked down. There's multiple angles of attack. Likewise, more importantly, the goal base. The goal base can be taken as a third, can be taken as a fourth. It can be very difficult to actually punish this gold. Yes, there is a cliff here where you can like lay siege upon it with your tanks and your setup. This is true, but you can also attack it from multiple angles as well, and it is still difficult here to really punish this gold. So yeah, I'm a little bit surprised. I'm very excited to see what Oliveira has in store for us, as he is going to be going for a CC first. Beautiful. We have a CC first here from Oliveira into the racks. Is going to be delaying his Reaper, delaying his Marine in favor of a faster economy into a stronger economy. I think this is a really wise thing to do here. The likelihood of the Zerg player going
Game paused.
The likelihood of the Zerg player going gas first here on Equilibrium is very low, so chances are you're not going to get punished. You're not going to get punished for going for a faster expansion. So a really greedy maneuver here from Oliveira, and unlikely to be punished. Oh, as it looks like, oh, well, we're coming back in.
Game resumed.
So we are getting into this. It looks like we had a pause for a moment, but merely for a moment. As again, Dark is going for a hatch gas pool standard opener here from our red Zerg player. And to have again that CC first from the Terran. Also, because we're on Equilibrium, on top of that, it's also why I love the fact that Oliveira is being a little bit greedier and cutting corners. Just because of the likelihood of the Zerg player getting a little bit further ahead in the mid game. As we are going for that Reaper first. Overlord's getting across the map. Overlord is going to get eyes on the fact that the CC's already done at this point. And that is enough of a tell for Dark to recognize, I see, you've been a greedy boy. It's going to back off from here. And eventually retreat towards the safety of this Overlord pillar. Meanwhile, Lings are moving out, moving across the map immediately, hoping to get some kind of damage to kill a couple of workers if possible. Reaper's moving out, is spotted by Dark. Dark, he does, I believe he's going to be rotating over, actually backing up, going back home. If it was Marine first, then Dark would have kept pushing, but it's a Reaper, so we're going to respect it. Respect it, come back home instead. From here, we're going to settle into our game. Just going to be droning for the time being, saturating our bases, getting everything up and running. So we do have our cheap creep tumors on the way. Oh, and we have a pretty interesting follow-up here. So I assumed that Oliveira would be getting into a third CC, but just because of the more economic start. I would have assumed that he would have been hammering down and gone even greedier, but no, it's going to be a 1-1-1. A Tech Lab is on the way on this rack, so we could go for an add-on swap into Banshee production, and Dark happens to be going into Roaches. Okay, so we have Roach play out of Dark, as to be expected. He's renowned for his Roach play. It's very common here for Dark specifically. He's a very iconic player, and the Roaches are a part of that. And we're not going Banshee, we're going into BC. Very interesting here. Okay, so Oliveira still goes for the add-on swap, which is very peculiar when it comes to a BC opener. Going for a Viking first even. Shutting down these overlords. Okay, so Viking first is a tell that it's going to be Battlecruiser. So Once the Viking reveals itself, we have 2 overlords in position. One of them should be diving into the main to get confirmation of what exactly is coming out. Meanwhile, Dark, he's cutting workers here at 42. We have roaches on the way. I think he's only making enough roaches to move out, so around 9 roaches, and behind this, yeah, we're droning. So he's saturating behind this. He's going for a small roach push to apply some pressure, and it shouldn't get out of hand. Shouldn't get too much done. Viking does reveal itself. Overlord should be going in. Hellions move out at the same time, take control of the Zonaga. The roaches have been spotted. Roaches have been spotted, and Oliveira immediately does back off. And how many roaches in total? 8 roaches in total. They do run into these Hellions, though. 1 roach already goes down. Not a bad start here for Oliveira. Behind this, bunkers are on the way. Additional Raxes are thrown down. It is not BC into mech, it's BC into bio. First battlecruiser still on the way. That second overlord has actually survived the Viking. I love this. We catch some reinforcements. We can't really fight roaches head to head, but we do catch 1, 2, 3 roaches on their own. So good pickups here from Oliveira. Meanwhile, the roaches, they do move out across them. They get a couple of SCVs. The bunker is done. And again, these Hellions are trading well here, catching 1 and 2 roaches, or 2 roaches at a time. Getting really good movement from Oliveira. As Dark is going to be expanding behind this. He's taking the gold base as his 4th, not his 3rd, but he's going to be droning. He should soon be maynarding and saturating this gold. Meanwhile, the first battlecruiser is on the way. Got our double Evo chambers for upgrades for speed in production as well. I believe the battlecruiser hasn't been scouted. No, it has not. And here comes the BC right in towards the main. The spores are not done. Completely catching Dark off guard. Queens are out of position. Drones are going down. The roaches are deflecting those Hellions. We do barely get the transfuse off. But the Queen still falls. We get 4, 5 drones in the main. Good damage. The BC will get the hell out of there. And not a bad start here for Oliveira. Gets the Overlord as well. Gets at least 1. He could get another. We can't transfuse. We're off of creep. Second Overlord is going to go down. And remember, behind this, it's bio, not mech. Mech is the much more common transition. So Dark is not fully aware of what's going on, still committing to Roach Ravager. The BC does wander towards that gold, fully saturated, by the way. As we're not able to get much more else than that. Gonna be backing up from here. Double drop moving out. Meanwhile, as the Hellion does slip into that natural base, we have a Nidus Worm on the way. This is something that Dark does very often. If Dark ever falls behind, if he ever takes too much damage, and he did take quite a lot of damage from this BC, and he may even take some more, he goes for a Nidus. We have a lot of Queens to make use of. BC does teleport back home, but we have Double Drop making its way towards the main base. Do we have enough at home to defend against that Nidus, though? We're gonna be pushing with Roaches through the center, and we're gonna have the Queens to support through that Nidus Worm. Double drops are moving out, and we need to force Dark to turn around. Let's go to the main. Dive into the main base. Evo chamber is going to be shut down. Denying plus on Carapace. Meanwhile, the main push, I believe, has not been scouted. These tanks are looking so vulnerable. And we get the Nidus into the main. No vision! Oliveira, he has no vision of the main base. He doesn't see, he doesn't know. First tank is going to go down, and we should get the second tank as well. Big pickoffs. 2 tanks go down. There's no more backbone to this army. Even if it wasn't for the Nidus Worm, Dark is doing so much here. As we do get the 3rd tank. At the same time, we're camping the production. Roach is right on top of everything. Nothing shoots up, but we could always get Queens out. We don't care about the Queens. We're going straight for the CC. 15 dead workers, 15 dead SCVs. Oh my god. And counting. And eventually this will be forced back. But the fact that we lost 3 tanks in defense was massive. And Oliveira, he's at death's door here. He shuts down the Nidus, cleans up that 1 Overlord from the start of the game. Roach is continuing to even hit his 3rd. And now Dark is miles ahead. He's on 74 workers. We have Burrow on the way. Infestation Pit, Tunneling Claws. Plus 2 upgrades, triple Evo chamber. 4 Evo chambers even. Just to make sure that everything gets up and running. And And Oliveira's in a rough place. Honestly, Oliveira was doing really well up until, not even the Nidus, up until the main push. Like we mentioned before, but even Dark pushing right through the center, killing 3 tanks, that was already insane. That was already well worth it for Dark. The Nidus was really the cherry on top, just making sure he just secures himself, shutting down the main base, and now Oliveira is desperate. He's going for a Doom drop into the main. We have Liberators here towards the south, Viking through the center. Army has been spotted. There we go, BC right into the main base as well to support. Medevacs are being focused down. We get one! We get one medevac. We're going to get a second and a third medevac as well. Oof. Good target firing there from Dark. He will lose the hive. But he gets everything else. Again, with only 2 medevacs, we have to trade out with some of these Marines. We do get a lot of drones. 18 dead workers. Where's the anti-air? Up! The BC! Oh my god. Be careful. As the BC is going ham on this army, getting quite a lot done. Liberators in each of the mineral lines as well. Dark, he's being pulled apart. The Hail Mary play, it's kind of working. Kind of. As the BC catches even more transferring workers, gets into Overlord as well. Double job keeping the main army busy. And Oliveira, he's tying it up. Well, he's evening things out. Gets another queen. There's only this is the only queen left in the game here for Dark. Barely any anti-air. The Spore Crawlers. The BC is barely gonna escape. Dark, he deflects the army back at home. We're rebuilding the tank counts, the Marines. Oliveira, he is fighting back. So 3 base saturation. Dark has a lot of hatcheries though, and he's still got the gold underway. This is the biggest problem. If it wasn't for this gold base, then maybe things would be a little bit more even, but again, this gold is just giving Dark such a massive boost. Essentially on 80 workers, getting to Infestors, getting to a Spellcaster, so laying at Roach, Ravager, Infestor. Bailing speed is on the way. And Dark is maxing. He's remaxing. In a couple of seconds, he will hit 200 supply. And Oliveira, he's just keeping the pressure on. He has to. We do have a 4th CC on the way. He's trying to get enough breathing room to expand and take a 4th. Running into the army though. Again, 1 good fungal is all that Dark is looking for. Then he can go for the piles. The bio army. Speaking of fungals though, massive fungals. We do barely not get the medevac. That was so close. Medevac almost went down. Bathing speed about to kick in. Dark, he wants to fight. He wants to engage. Oliveira backs off, respects the army. BC into the main. We have spores in position. Queens as well. There's no way into the main. Not again. Again, Dark has maxed out. Now, Dark has inflated supply with Roach Ravager, but because of the Infestors, there's still a lot of potential with this army. Like, again, with all these Lings and Banelings, a good fungal growth will just catch out the bio army completely. Oliveira, though, he's getting his 4th back up and running. Working towards 3-3. We're making a game out of this. Double drop into the main base. Bold move. Medevac's taking a lot of damage. Oh, and some of these medevacs are going to go down. Just barely we unload, but not really worth it in the end. Oh, we do get 3 queens. Oh my god. The Marines, they put in some work. Sorry, 2 queens. Almost a 3rd queen. 2 queens went down. We have the classic Burrowed Infestor here for Dark, moving out as well. Maybe to land a fungal. Again, we do have to respect the army. Meanwhile, Oliveira, he's just trying to turtle. He's on 4 bases, so you have a line of tanks, eventually working towards his 5th, towards the gold. BC's still alive. Oh, we get the neural with the files as well. Battle Cruiser finally goes down. Oh, it's me. Oh my god. Wait, why am I lagging out? I'm right here. No shot. I'm connected to OBS. No. I'm gonna have to surrender. Yeah. Oh my god. Smurge. Yeah, I don't know, I was at what, 250 ping there? That should be fine. Feels bad, man. Feels bad. I'm still logged into BattleNet as well, by the way. I'm right here. But that was this was the beginning of a comeback, and Oliveira, like, I'll restart the game. Hopefully that fixes it. But Oliveira, he was of course clawing his way back into it, was going for some great drop play as well, and that game can really go either direction. Honestly, it can go either way, and we won't find out which way. Feels bad, man. We'll be there for game number 2, but at least for game 1, we'll have to get out of the game. Don't want to cause any kind of latency issues. I'm gonna load up unit preloader, and hopefully things are better. Because the internet's fine. But I guess not. So we're going to be going on a short break. Bit unfortunate. We won't know the conclusion of game 1, but we'll be there for game 2. We will be there for it. See you soon. See you soon. And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. I apologize for the delayed start here. Again, we did end up lagging out of game one, and it went the distance. It was a 35-minute game. It was crazy. It went all the way to the late game. Split map scenario right down the center as well between these two players, which is impressive that our Terran player was able to recover after a really rough start, but here we go. We're getting into game number 2, and our Zerg player is leading the series 1-0. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Alkyone, we have the South Korean Zerg player, the red Zerg representing CranKy Z Gaming. It is Dark. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the Chinese Terran representing CranKy Z Gaming as well. Down in the series, it is Oliveira. I do notice the stuttering here as well. It might be clearing up. We'll see. So again, I did restart the client, did restart the game. Hopefully everything is okay as we get into game 2. I will at least finish this series. I'll wrap up this best of 3, and if things don't clear up, as you can see here, there's still some weird stuttering going on. We saw that last game I lagged out. I don't want to be a burden. I don't want to be a burden to the players specifically. I don't want to randomly lag out, and as we progress in this tournament, it could happen again. Could happen again where I end up lagging out of the game. I don't know what it is, but for whatever reason, currently my connection to the Korean server is really shaky, specifically on BNet. Like, my OBS is fine, internet's fine, everything else is fine. It's just my connection to BNet happens, for whatever reason, happens to be really dodgy at the moment to the Korean server, which is weird. I don't know why. Like, again, ping wise, I'm fine. Like, I'm looking at my ping, it's fine. It's just, yeah, the connection is a little bit weird. So we'll wrap up this series, and if it doesn't clear up, then we will raid another one of the English casters, and they'll keep you covered there. I'll try to make up for it with a replay cast. I'll probably do a replay cast sometime during the week, just to make up for it, but until then, we're settling in. We're settling into this game, and so far Hatch got spooled. To catch you guys up, I was actually watching, and we have a rack expand. I was actually watching over on Inu's channel. Inu, he's a Korean caster, is covering this series over in Korean, and we did see a split map scenario. Oliveira, he got into a 5-base setup, Thor, tank, Ghost, Lib, and he was doing well. He was trading damn well, but Dark had a much stronger economy. He had a much larger bank because of the early game as well. So it was Oliveira kind of fighting for his life, trying to punch up for a solid 30 minutes, and wasn't quite able to do so in the end. Dark just had too much. Dark, he went into just pure Broodlord Infestor Viper. I think he had like 20 Broodlords at a time. It was crazy. The amount of Broodlords that he had was insane. So we'll see if we can get there again, especially because we're loading into Alkyone, a map that is known for its split map play, is known for its late game. So we could be getting there again. And imagine an Oliveira that gets to the late game where he doesn't, stumble into it, where he doesn't take a big economic blow early on. Because if you remember, it all started with Dark rushing in with the Nidus into the main base, crippling the economy, crippling the production even, and Oliveira had to just claw his way back in, and he did. It was very impressive. He was able to pull it off, but we'll see if he can, again, have a much better start this time. For now, we have our follow-up. It is going to be a Rax Expand in towards a third CC before Starport. So a very economic opener here from Oliveira. Is going for that Starport as well. Could even go for an add-on swap here to get into Banshees. Again, just really standard stuff. Meanwhile, once again, early Roach Warren, which shouldn't surprise anyone. Dark, he's known for his Roach play. It's who he be. It's what he does. It's what he's known for. Going to be getting into Roaches as his main unit of choice. Isn't going to be, going all in or anything like that, or at least he could, but we'll keep an eye on the worker count. Overall, Roach all-ins on Alkyone actually struggled to get much done just because of the defender's advantage they have back at home with the ramp, with the setup. For now, Hellions, a poke and prod at the third base. Nothing quite here, though, as Dark is making a massive wave of Overlords. Oh, we're cutting workers at 42. We are making and banking, getting ready for a bunch of Roaches. Here we go, 7 Roaches on the way, just like last game. If you remember, last game, Dark moved out with, I think it was 9 Roaches. 9 Roaches in total. He did push out. Didn't get much done with them just because of the Hellions, and we actually had a BC follow-up. This time, Banshee. Banshees will have a much easier time cleaning up these would-be Roaches. we go. Roach Bush is moving out. It is amassing, and it's not just roaches. We're committing into lings as well, so we are going all in. Dark, he's doubling down here on his aggression. Roaches, lings are moving out, sending everything across the map. And Oliveira hasn't seen this yet. He was poking the third. He saw the lack of saturation. That should be a tell, but the third is being taken, and the Banshee does move out here to try to meet the army. We need to focus down as many of these Ravagers as possible. One Roach does get caught. But again, it's all or nothing. Scan into the natural, sees the lack of gas, sees the Roach Warren. So far, 2 Roaches do wander in, and they go down instantly. But we're not done. We're going for the surround. We have Lings from behind. We have Ravagers here from the front. Gonna be peeling up some Lings actually towards that third base, while not quite connecting on the Banshee. Oof. And again, we don't want to throw these Lings away, but so far, it looks like we are holding. Bunker is gonna fall. The Hellions, they just wreak havoc here when it comes to these Lings. Boys are being pulled as well. We dive on the Ravagers, and we should clean this up. That's gonna be a lot of SCV damage though. 12 SCVs go down. But now we can counterattack. Dark technically up in workers, but he's still undersaturated here. He's working on Olaire. He's racing back home. Again, really good movement out of Oliveira's Hellions. He was able to keep them back, avoid the surround. Likewise, really good that Oliveira was able to catch some of those Roaches ahead of time. Queen's going to be pushing on forward, but the Banshees, they have arrived. And up! Oh, they're going to get a Queen. There's no detection. There's no lair. There is no lair. 1 Queen goes down, and we can get even more than that. We dive on the rest of them. Meanwhile, the Hellions, they ignore the army. They go straight for the mineral line. 4 or 5 workers going to be going down. Up to 6. Oh, meanwhile, across the map, though, Dark doing quite a lot. He gets so much counter damage on 14 SCVs. He gets every single worker at the natural, even slips into the main as well. Oliveira was doing so well, but this 1 Ling counterattack just caught him completely off guard. 14 SCVs for 7 drones. And he wants more. He shouldn't get any more, though. There we go. He is going to be forced out. Oh, my God. But Dark... I was concerned that the push didn't do enough. I was concerned that he was taking too much damage back at home, but this Ling run by this Ling counterattack is keeping Dark in this. Keeping him in this game. From here, again, we're getting into additional spores. Going down our 4th, droning up, saturating our 3rd base as well. Things are looking good. Things are looking up here for Dark. Meanwhile, Oliveira, the pressure is on. We're even going straight into an infestation pit. This should be for safety infestors, then eventually rushing into a hive. Marines are moving out. In fact, I'm looking to see if we end up dropping or skipping frames again. Keep my eye on it. But for now, again, things are going to be settling down here. Oliveira, he has a lot of catching up to do, and he's going to be doing so by just, again, hyper-fixating on his economy. We should be going for drop play, and we do have Banshees on the left. We have a double drop being set up on the right-hand side. Medevacs are on the way. Meanwhile, Dark getting in position to dive in. They get 1 Queen. The rest are here, and Darky is going to be holding on. It feels like it's clearing up. I spoke too soon. I spoke too soon, Bappy. So we have that double jump on the right. No overlords in position. There's going to be very limited scouting here for Dark. Unaware of the drop. Yeah, we are diving straight for that main base. Dark out of position. Ling's going to be going down. We could maybe go for the Queen, or maybe just go straight for some drones. We stim forward towards that mineral line. We go straight for the gas guys. We could even throw in that spawning pool. The Roaches, they make it in at the same time. Another gas geyser goes down to the Banshees. Rotating towards that 4th. Miles going to be zoning Oliveira back. And from here, yeah, I mean, Oliveira, he was able to get a queen, able to get a couple of gas guys as well, but he needed more damage. He needs to get so much more, as Dark has gotten away with rushing into high. That's kind of what his better economic situation has granted him. It isn't really reflected here in his overall supplies, but in the tech. Hive is done, Adrenal's on the way, Vipers are coming out as well. This is what Dark got away with. Meanwhile, here comes Oliveira's push. Fourth CC is on the way. We're going to be hitting with 1-1. Stim is done, combat shields as well. Tanks are getting in position. Here we go, Oliveira stimming on forward. How good are the Biles? The Biles, they graze the army. We can stim on forward. Busting up the ramp towards that third base. The Banelings are rolling in. The Blinding Clouds, the Biles, the Fungal Growths, we cover everything. Tanks are going to be going down. There's one tank left. Do we have enough? As Queens are coming in for the surround as well. We throw away the Infestors, but it looks like Dark will barely hold on. But here come the Marines, the reinforcements. We're pushing in. We may not have tanks, but we have man with gun. And Oliveira, he's barely breaking through. He gets on top of the Ravagers. Two of them go down. Files do miss. But here comes the Link Vein. Finishing up just in time. Oof. Just in time to force back the army for a moment. But Dark, he's still in some trouble. Oliveira is still just rallying everything across the map. He knows that the pressure is on. He knows that he has to make some magic happen here. He checks. There's no base. There is no fifth. Reduced him forward towards that fourth. We do get damage done on the hatchery, but there's just too much Zerg on the ground. We force the pickup. We do force the pickup, and Oliveira going to be rotating here towards the north. Trying to pull apart his opponent again. Oliveira, he's come back from worse. He's come back from behind already in this series, and he's looking to do it again. 2-2 has kicked in for the Terran. Oh, +2 carapace. That is late, actually, from Dark. Very delayed +2. Not like this. Stark is going to be taking his fifth, finally. He takes his fifth as Oliveira already has his fourth saturated. And really, that's like the biggest win here out of this push from Oliveira. One, he reset the spellcaster count. He killed all the Infestors, reset the Ravagers, traded with the army well enough. And on top of that, contained Dark to 4 bases. And now, as a result, Oliveira, he has a comparable economy, a better economy than Dark. Double jump towards the north. Main army threatening that 4th base. So far, Darky's keeping up. We get on top of the 5th. We force to cancel. Very nicely done. We cancel the base. Tanks are sieging up. These medevacs, they are running out of energy. Banelings roll in. Power bombs as well. Good split here. Power bomb does minimal damage. And he wants that hatchery. He wants that base so bad. But there's too much on the ground. Oliveira has to back off. Good stutter stepping. But Oliveira, he has to retreat towards the north. This double jump isn't going to get too much done either. Ooh, 6 around too long. We clean up the Marines. Dark looking to stabilize. Ultras on the way. Vipers as well. Again, that Hive Tech kicking into gear. Oliveira trying to keep the momentum going, but everything will change once the Ultras hit the field. Kindness Fading is done. Overlord Speed on the way. It's like something synthesis. There we go. Anabolic Synthesis. Shaking my head. I don't like it. The name, I mean. But here we go. That's going to be a kill, not a cancel on the hatchery. No, sorry, cancel. Never mind. Hatchery does get canceled. That's Oliveira. Good splits here. Going to be able to push on forward. Denies another hatchery. Forcing another cancel. And this may just be too much. Yeah, the trades here from Oliveira. The splits as well. Viper's going to be coming on forward. But there just isn't enough to stop Oliveira. Where are the Banelings? The Banelings are gone. Not here anymore. As we get on top of the Roaches and Ravagers, the hatchery does go down. Oliveira, can he pull this off? Oh my god. Yeah, GG gets called. It just becomes too much, and Oliveira will tie up the series 1-1. GG. Oh my god. Very well done here by Oliveira. Again, initially defending and able to surpass and survive the initial Roach Ling Flood from Dark. Then things got a little bit shaky. Oliveira was losing a lot of workers. Things got quite close between them. Dark rushing into Hive Tech, I feel like was an okay call. Like, the Vipers and Infestors, they have their place in the defense, but maybe we were a little bit too greedy tech-wise when it came to the push of Oliveira at the third base. If you remember, when he moved on forward through the center of the map with his tanks, he traded damn well. He nearly, in that attack, he almost killed Dark then and there. It was almost over. Dark, he barely held on, but he lost so much in the process. He didn't lose workers, but he lost all his spellcasters, all of his gas units, was contained to 4 bases, as we mentioned, and Oliveira, he was able to take it. He was able to get ahead. GG, well played. And now we're getting into the ace match. It all ends here on Oceanborn. All ends on, or under the sea. Let's go. And again, this can still go either way. It can go the way of the Zerg or the Terran. Go. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Oceanborn, we have the South Korean Zerg player being forced into the ace match representing CranKy Gaming. It is Dark. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Chinese Terran representing DKZ as well. It is Oliveira. Go. And Oliveira going for the low ground racks. Let's go. I'm ready for it. I'm excited for it. Raxes are going to be on the way. It does make a lot of sense here to go for a 2 racks on Oceanborn specifically. The reason why I say that is because on Oceanborn, it's a very linear expansion path. This third base is really the only viable third. The center base here is just so exposed, so vulnerable that it's almost a death sentence if you do take this. So the goal here is to go for a 2 racks, and the purpose of this build is to contain the opponent to 2 bases. If Dark tries to sneak out a third, then Oliveira should be able to punish it. Should. We'll see if he can. Again, it should be 2 racks Reaper here from Oliveira. Getting into a CC, getting into his follow-up. The follow-up could go a couple of different ways. It could be 3CC 2-on-1, it could be a 4 racks even. Could just be a regular 2-on-1, or even a 3 racks. There's a lot available here for our Terran. Now we are going to be getting ready for that move out. Getting Reapers on the way. And this Overlord is going to confirm this. The Overlord dips on forward, and Dark should get eyes on the setup. He will see the racks alongside the depots as well. And behind this, we stay in gas. We're going to be staying in gas. We get up to 100. We prioritize link speed over everything, as we are stuttering quite a bit. I'm a little bit anxious. Yeah, again, I do think we'll wrap it up after this series. Oh god. Not like this. But here we go. The Reapers have arrived. We can see that Dark is trying to sneak out that third, by the way. Going straight for that hatchery. Reapers getting into the mineral line, but last I can't quite get any workers so far. Good defense from Dark. He's able to keep up, does force this back, and the third base has been revealed. Behind this, Oliveira, he's investing into a 3rd and 4th Reaper. Sorry, I should say 4th and 5th Reaper here before getting into add-ons. Should be 5 Reapers max, and we should be canceling this third. Dark, he will be contained to 2 bases, as we mentioned. He's going to be punished for trying to expand and take this hatchery. Link speed is on the way, but it's not going to finish in time, and Dark is going to be contained. Behind this, there's the reactor, as well as the tech lab. Getting into our 3CC setup. As hopefully, we do cancel in time. But there's that 3rd command center on the way. So very economic here from Oliveira. He should be aware that link speed is finishing, so these Reapers need to get out of here. They need to race back home, otherwise Oliveira may lose these Reapers to the Lings. So we have to be very careful of that movement. We do catch 2 Lings, actually. Oh my god, and there aren't that many of them, so we can threaten this third base again. We shouldn't force a cancel. This time there should be enough on the ground. But Oliveira, he's being a little bit cheeky, a little bit greedy here. Forcing Dark's hand. Behind this, fast Roach Warren. Very fast Roach Warren from Dark. He's going to be cutting workers here at 31. 4 Overlords on the way. This screams all in. This screams like the Dark is not going to be saturating these bases. He's going for a big Roach Ling push. Speaking of the Lings, he's trying to catch these Reapers, and it looks like he will. Oh, will not actually. Quick moves out of Oliveira, avoiding the surround, and he will get back home. Back at home again, he's getting to his 3cc 2-on-1, building up his Marine army, working on Stim. Now, what's important is that Oliveira has achieved quite a lot with this opener. Like, it's been really good, but he hasn't seen the follow-up. He doesn't see the fact that we're not even saturated in our main. We main arted over towards the natural to make it look like we're droning. So, not even 16 workers here. We're just amassing Roach, Ravager, Ling. It's all or nothing for Dark, one way or another. Either the game ends or we're able to deal enough damage to transition out of this. And here we go. Meanwhile, Oliveira has no idea what's going on. And he is vulnerable to getting surrounded. Oh. Here we go, the Ravagers, they reveal themselves. We have to race back home. No, Stim isn't done. Stim finishes up just in time here. We have to Stim all the way back to the wall. Boys are being pulled. Vials. Well, they do connect here on only some of the SCVs. The Reapers turn back around. We clean up the Lings. We do clean up things. We're going right for those Ravagers. We cancel, at least one of them. At least 2. Reinforcements are on the way. We force the pickup. So far, Oliveira is holding on. So far, good trades from the Terran, but there's no bunker. The Tech Labs. Tech Labs are exposed. Stim did finish, but it looks like Combat Shield is not going to. Yeah, the Vials are just too much. Production's exposed. Factory's going to be going down, but we do have a tank on the high ground. We have that tank on the high ground. The third base is taking a lot of damage. We have to lift. Lift, Poppy, lift. Uh-oh. SCV's on the way. And I think it's going to burn. Oh, God. Oh, God. We do lift up just in time. Saving the third. Boys are being pulled. Lings once again trying to surround that army. Lings are being cleaned up, though. We're getting on top of the Ravagers. Getting on top of the Ravagers. It looks like the tank does get piled down. For Oliveira, he's holding. He chases this down. Gets 1, gets 2, gets 3. Gets every single Ravager. Only 1 left. Soon to be none left. Oh my god. Can we get it? It lives. The Ravager does survive. But again, Oliveira, he's on 3cc. And Dark is droning. Dark is droning as heavily as he can. He did kill some workers, but I want to favor Oliveira here. I want to favor him because he has a 3rd CC to get his third base back up and running. He can make 3 SCVs at a time. Triple mules. 1-1 is on the way. These upgrades are going to get insane. 1-1 is finishing. Meanwhile, the lair is still in production and no Evo chambers here at all for Dark. Dark is not set up for a later game. Oliveira is. So Oliveira, he's getting further and further ahead. Upgrades are kicking in. With these armories, Oliveira, he can get into 2-2 almost straight away. And Dark is up against the wall. Now, Dark can approach this in a couple of different ways. Either 1, he can tech up very heavily, or 2, he can take a 4th, drone up to 66, which is 3 base saturation, cut workers, and go for a 2nd all-in. We'll see what he goes for. See what he decides. Here we go. Dark is going to be threatening that main. Does force back these. They're empty medevacs, by the way. Keeping Dark preoccupied. And here come Marines from the south, clearing up a lot of this creep. Containing Dark here. Basically, Oliveira, he was hoping for a 4th. He was waiting for the 4th base, and if there was one, he could shut it down, but alas. Dark still contained to 3 bases, working on 1-1. working on those upgrades. And Oliveira, he's just stable here on 60 SCVs plus mules. Getting into his tanks. Working towards 2-2 just as Dark starts up 1-1. Now Dark, he's stuck on Roach Ravager. Like there's no easy way for him to transition into Banelings at the moment. So we have 1-1 on the way. Plus on range, I should say. Fourth base now being taken here from Dark. And Dark is going to be able to keep up like supply-wise here, but remember, this is inflated supply. The soup does lie. Soup does lie when it comes to roaches. We do race on in, and can we force the cancel? We do force the cancel in the fourth. It wasn't even 2 full medevacs, but we forced the cancel. Ay, ay, ay. Dark unable to catch up. Unable to keep up. And we're building towards an eventual push. Like, we're building towards a move out here of Biotank. And that's a lot of tanks. 5 tanks here for Oliveira. We have a double drop moving out. We have a drop here on the right, and we have a drop on the left. We try and pull Dark apart. Going for those tumors. Going straight for the Ravagers as well. Looks like we get 2. Get 2 Ravagers just in time. Keeping Dark busy. At the same time, here comes a drop, and we're not going to be able to expand. It's not happening. We just won a 4th base, and we will not get it. We force another cancel. Dark still stuck on 3 bases. We scan the main. We get eyes on the lair. More importantly, we see the lack of additional tech, the lack of hive, the lack of infestation pits. Again, Dark is maxing out. He is maxing out on Roach Ravager. But Oliveira, he doesn't care. He is moving. Now, there is a world where Dark can maybe catch his army off guard. Maybe catch it unsieged. But so far, a good spread. Oliveira, he does go for the siege. He sims on forward. Gets on top of the Roach Ravager. Massive tank shot's going to be going off. And you can see Dark's army just melts. The quality of the army just was not good enough. GG gets called, and Oliveira will take the series 2-1. GG. Oh. GG, well played. Oliveira achieving so much with his initial opener, with his 2-racks, with his 2-racks Reaper, getting out of hand, getting so much done with it. I mean, I say that, delaying and cancelling the 3rd base and also trading well against the Lings. Dark, he went into his own all-in with Ling Ravager, and he didn't do enough. He did not do enough damage. He was unable to deal the critical amount of economic damage that he needed to, and with that, Oliveira does take him down in the end. Does come out on top. GG. GG, well played. Very well done here. Very well done by Oliveira. Again, just really solid play as well as a follow-up, and yeah, Dark, he was up against the wall. And Oliveira advances on to face off against Solar in the semifinals. Both semifinals are upon us, but I don't know if you noticed, there were a lot of frame drops. There were a lot of frame drops in that last game, and I am very concerned. I'm very concerned that frame drops will continue. And in game number 1 of this series, I actually lagged out. I was fine on OBS, but I lagged out of BattleNets. Like, for whatever reason, my connection to the Korean server is really shaky today. It usually isn't. Usually it's fine. Like, yeah, we casted that a problem. But I was like stuttering quite a lot in game, and I'm concerned that that's going to happen again. I'm very concerned. So I'm more than happy to catch up. I'm probably going to have a replay cast in a couple of days to cast all these matches, to cast all the semis. But I didn't like what was happening in that last game. I'm concerned, Papi. I am concerned. I'm concerned. So I think we're gonna end the stream here. I think we're gonna end the stream here. It is a shame. I would love to keep going. I would love to. I mean, like, Solar and Oliveira, they're doing their vetoes right now. They're doing their vetoes. I would love to cast Solar versus Oliveira. It looks like a really good series, and I will. I will cast it next time, I guess. Next time, in a couple of days. Again, I'll get the replays, and we'll probably do a replay cast like when Thursday or something. I don't. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. But yeah, for now, I'm gonna be handing the reins over to Chicken Man. Like I also like, especially game one. Game one was really rough, and it just wasn't looking good. Wasn't looking good visually on the screen. Like I was even having a hard time like being immersed in the game just because of all the stuttering. So with that, we're going to be wrapping up here for now. Thank you so much for the support. Thank you so much for the follows as well. We appreciate it. We appreciate it. We're going to be giving Chicken Man a raid. Chicken Man, I believe he's casting the upper semis. Going to be casting the upper semis. And again, I'll probably get my hands on the replays. And in a couple of days, we'll do replay casts here on the channel as well. So with that, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for the support. We do appreciate it. And yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow for ESL Open Cup Americas. Americas, papi. In less than 24 hours. Sorry, in just over 24 hours, we're going to be live on this channel with ESL Americas. The day after that, I think we have a GSL cast. I'll have to double check, but I believe we have a GSL cast. And yeah, we have a lot going on here on the channel, as we always do. And we'll see you guys next time. Until then, hasta luego. Bye. Hasta luego.